Welcome, listeners, to Quickfire Questions with Fairfax and Favour, where we will be putting some quickfire questions, as the name might suggest, to some of the best riders in the business. And today's guest is the Blenheim long format 4-star winner, none other than Yasmin Ingham. Yas, are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is your favourite meal?
A homemade mum and dad's roast dinner.
Sounds good. What Fairfax and Favour item is your go-to when you go out for dinner?
It would have to be the Kensington black suede ankle boots. They are just such a staple and they literally go with anything.
Very classy. What is your party trick?
I can do the worm and that's quite fun. So I like to bring that out at a party.
Which bee is your favourite? Bags, boots or belt?
Oh, has to be bags. Every day of the week.
Yas, thank you so much. We have loved you answering our quickfire questions with Fairfax and Favour.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome to Podmas on the Echo Ratings Eventing podcast, where this Christmas we will be bringing you a new episode every single day in the build-up to the big day. So here we go. Let's crack on with today's show.
Agony Hour. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's another little taster. We're back for the big time in January 2022, but for now it's Podmas. So we're just on quick little questions, quick little bits of advice, in and out. Let's get some help. You need a bit of help? Don't forget, get in touch with the Agony Hour. Nicole at echoratings.com, info at echoratings.com. They're the two places you'll find us. Or you could always talk to the podcast Instagram. That would be one way of sending it. Or, as this person has done, you could WhatsApp me. You'll have to find my number. And actually, Nicole and Spike, who are the guests, as always, you'll both enjoy this. I had 2 phone calls today. Obviously, regular listeners will know I'm in the process of moving house for the last number of months. So I get quite a lot of calls now from, from numbers that you don't know. So I don't really worry about that too much. However, I got one phone call today from a person looking for directions to Sam's house because he had a horse to drop off, which was, you know what I mean? I don't know how they found me, but they found me. And the second one was an Amazon delivery that went to the wrong place. And a man, an older gentleman, rang me to say, I live in 125 blah, blah, blah on the other side of the city, and said, your Amazon package has been delivered here. And guess what his name is? Diarm Byrne. Right, I thought that was kind of funny. However, I don't know how he got my number to ring me. Maybe it was on the delivery docket or something like that. But right, we'll get on with the plan. We'll get on with the show. It's Podmas. I've got Peter with me. I've got Nicole with me. How are you two? Firstly, happy December. All going well?
Good. Very good. Yeah. I'm really waiting with bated breath because the last 2 agony podcasts that we did were fairly intense. And so I'm just waiting to see what.
I mean, I've done some research since the last 2. I've had to learn a lot of things. I've gone through the laws and the rules and the regulations in many countries and continents to just make sure that I can be fully educated and fully informed before giving suitable advice.
We're a worldwide show, lads. Get on with it. You two have a heavy responsibility. If people choose to take your advice, choose to take it. If choose to ignore it, choose to ignore it. But I've no shortage of questions, but do send them in because we do enjoy discussing them. But I've under strict instructions not to do a neighbour one, because I have actually got neighbour ones coming out of my ears at the moment. Everybody who
be a real problem.
Everybody who listens to our show seems to hate their neighbours or be in some kind of difficulty with your neighbour. Don't fret if I haven't read your question about neighbours yet. I likely have seen it, but we have had a wide range of neighbour questions already, so I'm going to do something different. This one, Nicole and Spike, I think you will enjoy. It's a little bit more in your ballpark. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Quite short. It came in on Instagram, and it just says, I have had strong feelings for my best friend who recently got with another friend of mine. We have never been together, but we have flirted. I have never considered myself jealous, but I am now. It's causing quite an issue in our friend group, and I'm not that bothered about hanging around with them all in a group at the moment. For context, 7 of us live together in university. Any advice welcome from the Agony Hour?
Oh, okay. So let's just go back to the beginning for a second. So somebody who is friends, like in a friendship group, somebody really likes somebody they've always been very good friends with, but that person has recently started going out with another one of their friends.
Of that group, it seems. Yeah. So it says, I have had strong feelings for my best friend. I have had strong feelings for my best friend. I presume I still do, obviously. I've never considered myself jealous, but I am now. Okay, but yeah, so they're best friends. They're in a group. A fancies B. B's after getting with another one of the friends in the group. And now A is saying, I don't really feel like even hanging around with the group. They all lived together. They all lived together in university, so it seems like that's over now. Maybe they're out of university.
So they don't all live together now.
No, it doesn't seem. 7 of us lived together in university, so they're finished. Any advice welcome from the Agony Hour? Right, you fancy your best friend and they're with another one of your friends. What do you want to do? 2 things at
play. It depends on the timeline.
Right.
I would say. I think if this is established now for a bit, I think you're going to have to hold tight and just see how that works out for them. Because actually, if they're actually within you in quite a close friendship group, you know, like if it's only just happened, or they've if it's, you know, we're talking about days or weeks or something like that, then I'm
going to say
there is still the opportunity. There's a window there.
Just say here, but just for the sake of giving advice, let's say it's 3 months that they've been together. I
think that's too much. You know, I don't think you could put it on the line there, because I think that's
put it on the line.
By actually trying to go, you know, actually going to, if you're talking about A and B, like A saying to B, actually, I've got strong feelings for you. I think that's
best friends.
Too far down the line.
Like 3 months, Peter, in the context of your whole life, like if that was the person you want to get married to.
No, but that's 3 months for B and C to have developed a relationship and have.
I reckon
if
B hears this, she is like, oh my God, get the butt. Are you joking me? That's what I think.
I think you risk B not wanting to hear it and risking the friendship, and you have to let the B and C it roll along and see what comes of it. Right. See what comes of it. But I think that 3 months I think A is going to have to.
Happy Christmas.
I think A is going to. I think A's going to have to just. I don't think
you're going to have to sit this one out. You're going to have to let your love trickle away. You're going to let your love
and just
Christmas.
drink your way through Christmas.
The advice for Agony Hour cannot be
January.
Just drink your way through.
Basically, just drink your way through all that pent up angst and worry and everything.
That's terrible advice. Terrible.
I think me and Peter have seen our way through many a life situation with alcohol and tears and Formula One and Liverpool.
Is that not the answer?
It's the only answer here. No, right. Let's deal with this. We can't. I mean, I don't think we can. I don't think we can get through a whole show on that. Nickers, what do you reckon? Are you gonna let A? A is gonna let B walk on by.
I mean, Nicole's very confused about this because she's had no concept that there might be another person other than the one true love in your life that you met when you're 12 and married and everything's fine.
Behind the bike shed in the Young Farmers.
He didn't actually invite me to go and see his dog's new puppies.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
No, Spike. No. Okay, so I think you've got 2 ways of looking at it. You could come clean and say to your best friend, look, I'm not asking anything of you, but I've got to let you know how I feel. and I really have other
Bad
feelings.
idea.
No, just listen.
Awful.
Bad idea.
Feelings for you. I totally respect your relationship with our other friend, but just so you know, that is why I'm going to back off, and I just need a bit of space. It's nothing personal, but like,
It's
just so you
everything
know.
personal. You couldn't say it's nothing personal. It's by definition entirely personal.
All right. But otherwise, you're going to back off. So if you're saying just drink away your feelings and go and like ignore the situation and just distance yourself slightly, that's fine. But you're probably going to lose your friends anyway, because they're going to think, what the hell's up with you?
Yeah.
And what are you playing at? So
what age do we think these people are? What age do we think? Because I think that's important.
I reckon early 20s. I think they live together in university.
So they're close enough
20s.
to that. So let's say 20. Let's say 23, right? 24.
Yeah.
Don't sound like an old man now and go, oh, there's so other fish in the sea, blah blah blah.
No, I'm not going to say that at all. I'm just giving the context of like, I think at 24 you're too old to be going to another adult. I have strong feelings for you. In Ireland, anyway, I don't think.
Well, I mean, I'd say that actually,
it's a different.
Like that's the mature way of dealing with it.
No, that's not, lads. That is like a cold British approach to life. That is not how.
This is something out of a really bad movie, by the way. But also, I think
this is the other real problem that came in on Instagram. I just want you to know.
If they're 3 months into a relationship, I think it's and they're both friends and people that you've lived with in the past. I think if you're chucking another thing into the mix there, that's tough.
Could I make just make a point? Are you sure, as this person, that actually you do have really strong feelings for your best friend, and that actually you don't just feel a little bit
let me read that.
Or that you are worried that your relationship with your best friend is going to change because of their new relationship, and that is why you're jealous. And it's not actually romantically you're jealous. You just think your relationship is going to change, and therefore maybe you just kind of need to speak to your best friend. So B.
Says they've flirted in the past, and it says I have strong.
Flirted,
I said I have strong feelings for my best friend. So they're not in doubt, right? They're not.
If you're not in doubt, are you always going to think, what if? Like, what if I said?
Yeah, but I think everybody thinks about that about someone in their life. Everyone's a bit like, what if that one worked out? But the reality, obviously not you, Nicole, not you, because you're like the Virgin Mary over there. But I mean, but what I mean is, like, I think life is not black and white. It's full of grey zones, and like maybe you fancy this person, but I think you have to, for the sake of the 7 people in the group, of which you are one, I think you've got to let that other one play out a bit. But if I was you, I would probably just put a few landmines in on that relationship. Not obvious ones. Don't get too.
No.
So you're going to say you're going to hijack their relationship
in a really sly way, not like obvious, not in a way that like people would know I did it. But I'd just be a bit like, all right, no worries if you're happy with.
So I wouldn't do that.
If you're happy with Dave and all the stuff
I think that's.
You say, all right, Dave just doesn't respect.
I think that's going to run you into trouble.
I think it'd be grand. If you're good enough at the game, I think you could lay enough doubt into that. But I think the main thing I'm going with here is 3 months is plenty of time. I don't think, unless you really think you're going to, unless you can't. I mean, this person is serious enough to send this into Agony Hour, so they obviously do have feelings for this person. And we all know what it feels like when you're in the mire of like, you feel like, you know what I mean? Remember when you used to wait for a text off someone? You'd be like, "Oh my god, it is so all-encompassing."
In your favorite movie of all time, particularly around this time of year, D.
Yeah, I do. Of course, I do.
When you stand at the door with your cards, with your signs.
Say it's Carol Singers.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the scenario, isn't it? I don't think that you can make a play, really.
Actually, do you know what? You're dead right. Maybe that is just the advice. I think maybe you've just hit the nail on the head. Because it's Christmas, and then let's go.
You can be honest, but you don't. No sly moves. No laying landmines. You either have to lay it on the line with no, and take the consequences, and just say, "I just need you to know, I'm not saying anything."
Christmas
off you go, and you can make your own decisions.
Christmas card text. Love Actually. Would think that would get it. What was your man's name? God, I hated him. The fella who wanted to get with Keira Knightley.
But I think you have to be prepared to, like, if you say to your
Actually, doorstep. Yeah, sorry, Nicole, I'm listening. I'm just Googling to see if I can find it.
And I'm presuming also that you are closer friends with the best friend as opposed to, like, the person that best friend is now seeing.
I think that's difficult though, because often it's just a group though, isn't it? Like often you can have that real strong group of mates where there's no that you're just like a little circle of
lads. Hang on, I've got the answer. Like I've got an actual full answer.
No, it's not the actual answer.
No, I have got an actual full answer. I can solve this now. There is an actual thing called the Greetingsgram service.
So you're gonna send someone to do your dirty work.
It recreates the famous scene from the seasonal favourite Love Actually. And Peter, it is the season.
It is the season.
Right? And your man's name was Mark, and he used large cue cards to declare his love for Keira Knightley. Juliet was her name in the film. But this is a service as well. It's called Greetings Glam. And they're not going to send a man around, they're just going to send the cards. But you can send that to your best friend. I would leave it a little bit anonymously. Lads, this is everywhere. Love Actually star is offering doorstep greetings this Christmas. This is unreal. This is last year, is it? Love Actually star Martine McCutcheon is doing it now. It's some kind of...
Don't you love Martine McCutcheon, or did I imagine
absolutely. That? The known Tummy Love and Care. Martine McCutcheon is my favourite. Love Actually star Martine McCutcheon has teamed up with Now TV to create Greetings, or as the Daily Mirror has called it, Greetingsgram service. Streaming service is also a digital Greetingsgram alternative. Right, get on Greetingsgram. I'm going to look up that in a minute to see if it works. But I'm looking at the Dorset Echo, and it seems to be telling me that it does work. I think this is the right move by Peter Spike Milligan. Put a little bit of that. I can't remember your man's actual exact word in Peter, but it was something like without. Do you remember it? Without hope or
without prejudice, without hope or prejudice.
Was that
something,
it?
Wasn't it? I'm sure they use it. Yeah.
It was something like that. It was like, even when I
just want you to know.
I just want you to know at Christmas, because now is the time that you're meant to tell people how you really feel. I just want you to know, without hope or anticipation or whatever it was, that I will love you even when you're old and grey and you look like this. And you know what? You can do that. Greetings, Graham, and go and have a happy Christmas, knowing that you've done it, you've said it, but you've respected your mates and your group. Greetings, Graham. Solved. Happy?
Delighted. And do you know what makes me even happier? That Jenny Autry would entirely approve of this decision.
Yeah, she would sign off on that.
I'm just putting it out there that if you decide not to tell any of your friends, then the best thing to do when you've fallen off a horse is to get back on a horse and go and find yourself some nice, hunky new toy.
Horse.
Nice hunky new horse to take the situation.
Well, there we go. In what can only be termed quite an unlikely turn of events from that side of the room. Nicole Brown is recommending is recommending to just get on with it, I suppose, at Christmas. It's harder in a COVID time where you can't kind of get out there and, I suppose, get it on as easily as was previously available to people. But so be it. Hang in there. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. Happy Christmas. Another Agony Hour done.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!